Welcome to the SMWay podcast and the last episode of 2023. I'm your host, Daniel Bader. We've had some pretty heavy topics lately. State report cards measuring how our schools and the district is doing. New elementary report cards sharing with parents how we're measuring how their students are doing. And one about the school board's consideration of a potential referendum. All important topics and reflective of the hard work that's going on. But they don't exactly spark joy, do they? Or excitement, or share what our students are so busy doing. Today, I want to wow you with some of that work that our students are engaged in. Apollo Jazz, a choral group, spent a day recently out in the community caroling. And I really wanted to be able to share some of their music with our listeners and to spotlight this particular group because it's tied to our music department, which has been growing by leaps and bounds. Today, we'll hear from two students who are part of Apollo Jazz and teacher Aimiee Swanson, who mentors the group, and a little bit about how the department, which consists of herself and one other music teacher, David Shaw, is growing and getting students really excited about music. First, though, let's hear some of that music. Today we're joined with two high school students, Aiden and Genevieve. They're both members of the Apollo Jazz choir. Genevieve, so you're a senior this year. How long have you been part of Apollo Jazz?
This is actually my first year in Apollo Jazz.
It is. What made you join up?
I was thinking of joining it last year, but then I didn't. But this year I really wanted to because I love singing. It's something I've always done, so.
How about you, Aiden? What got you into singing? You're a junior this year, right?
Yes. Kind of the same thing as Gigi. It's the passion. I love singing, and peer pressure is also a very strong thing. Yeah.
You got roped into this?
Yeah, I did. But I can say, from my personal experiences, that I do not regret not joining. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't regret not joining.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at first it was kind of like, I don't know if I want to take this extra choir thing, and take all this time out of my day. And like before, I didn't know that I liked music this much, and I was just like, oh, it's singing. I mean, yeah, I liked singing, but not as much as I do now. And jazz choir is the reason why I love singing, and I picked up a passion, which is being a vocal percussionist, and that's something I've picked up from jazz choir, and I'm glad that I have joined because I found all these nice people, amazing talented singers, and it's just an amazing experience in general.
It's your first year doing this?
Yes,
too?
sir. It's my first year.
So how many? Back to kind of spreading the cheer. What were how many pieces did you do? Where was it? I guess we'll stay with Genevieve. Where how many songs did you guys sing?
I think we did around like 5 or 6 or.
Yeah, we kind of jumped around our whole thing. It was Country Carol, Jingle Bells, Let Us Know? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And then we also did...
a song called Peace, Peace.
Oh, yeah.
Which, and Peace, Peace also is it's like a combined song with what was the other one?
Silent Night.
Silent Night, yeah.
You guys did the lunch hour at the Bucyrus Club, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What was that like?
It was kind of fun. I mean, my grandma actually came and watched us there while she was eating.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she know you were going to be there? Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just people were eating. They were like, "Oh, okay, you guys
Yeah.
singing? All right, let's go."
They get entertainment with their dinner, like
Right.
or lunch.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, and that's kind of a great place to do, right? They had the fireplace and the.
oh, it was
you know.
hot. Yeah, when we were singing, it was angled. Where the middle, I luckily I escaped, but the people that are there, it's just the fire was right there. It was on your legs. I'm like, oh my God, it's hot.
Yeah,
Luckily
yeah.
I escaped.
Especially because you were outside some places too, right? Did you, or was it all inside?
It was all inside.
It was all
Okay.
inside, yeah.
Where else did you go?
So, we went to this business.
Oh, the
DB
tax
Wealth
place?
Yeah, DB Wealth Management. Yeah.
In the middle school as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's
We went to 2 different like nursing homes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
assisted
2.
living. Yeah.
What was your favorite part of it? Genevieve, how about you?
Just being able to see like the people like smiling and enjoying like just us singing and like being surprised that we're just there to sing and stuff. I guess was really
Sure.
nice.
How about you? Okay.
I'd say the best part about it was just being with like a family, just being with my group, and it felt like a family. We were all just so happy. We're all smiling. We're all singing. We're all doing what we love. We're all passionate about it. And my favorite part was singing Peace, Peace at a nursing home, and it sounded so beautiful, and everybody was smiling, and we're all just singing, and that truly made me happy, and it's so impactful. It was so impactful on me. I just truly happy.
Joining us now is, I'm going to get your title wrong, Aimiee Swanson, music teacher. Tell me your full title.
I am the high school choral and general music instructor here.
Right. And then you would also, that means the director of the Apollo Jazz group.
Yes, and I'm also, I also lead Apollo Jazz, yes.
Right. So tell me, we just heard why these students joined, but tell me kind of more structurally, what is Apollo Jazz?
Sure. Apollo Jazz is our answer to the ambassadors of our school and choir program. I like to think of it more as our school. These are the students who, it's a smaller group, so we're able to go out into the community and be that face and that voice for our students and our high school. And Apollo Jazz came through also the need for higher level learning, and so it's a pretty intense experience. The audition process is learning a little snippet of one of the pieces of music that we're going to learn in the coming year, and then learning a jazz choir solo. It sounds really scary, but like I make it not a scary environment. And then I have to play some notes back to make sure that they can learn quickly and have the oral skills to, hey, I heard my part, I can replicate that right away. Because we only meet once a week. So we meet at 6:45 on Friday mornings until 7:30. I make everybody breakfast. And so we sing and eat together and share a meal. And so they only get 45 minutes once a week to put everything together. So there's a lot of work that they do outside of school.
Got it.
To come in.
That's interesting. So this is almost like Well, if there is a gifted talent program, but this would be the extra work for those students who excel or want more out of their choral experience. Yeah.
Yes. And you don't necessarily have to be the best sight reader. You can read the music better than anyone else. It really helps. But oral learners can be in there, and really you just have to be dedicated to working hard. And these students have worked hard. They had a concert on December 2nd, on December 3rd with the concert choir that they're in. We sang on December 13th. They did the Spreading the Cheer campaign, and today they're performing for our Joyful Symphony concert. So they had to leave class to practice for that. I just got done with rehearsal with them during Aspire to make sure they were ready for that. So I'm feeding them lunch today. I'm making crock-pot. That is my only way of being like, you're working so hard. Thank you for always coming in and being dedicated. Here's breakfast, or here's crock-pot mac and cheese.
Yeah, well, I think you've done a good job bringing them together because, as we heard from Aiden, he said it feels like a family.
Yes.
So that kind of, you've done a good job, or they've done a good job building community there.
Yes, and that's the whole point of Apollo Jazz. We're choosing jazz as our medium. That's a truly American music. It's a democratic type of music.
For me, definitely. Can you define that? Because you sing all styles of music. You have older music. You've done the national anthem. What is when you say jazz? What does that mean?
Jazz has its roots are in the African American slave experience, and so there's so much that came over from Mama Africa, and it's infused in American pop music too, not just jazz. But jazz is that. The harmonies, technically, there are lots of seventh chords. So you have do, mi, sol, ti, and you have that T in there to make it kind of cool.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different styles of jazz. When we did our Spreading the Cheer campaign, we did not just jazz. We had a little set that was jazz, and then we incorporated other traditional carols in there. But the group specializes in that type of singing. So if you're singing eighth notes, you swing the second one. So it's not do-ba, it's do-ba. So there's lots of technical things that are different from singing straight tone or even pop music. So it's just a different style and genre of singing.
And it sounds like there's a range of what you do anyway. So
yes.
But jazz is its roots.
Right. And then we go and compete at solo and ensemble in the medium of jazz. We go up to UW Stevens Point for their jazz festival so that we're only singing jazz, and we get to work with amazing nationally known jazz groups, and they come and do a clinic with us, and we perform for all of the different jazz choirs around the state that are at that festival. So in that medium, but we also sing other things and go out into the community, like Veterans Day and
I mean, I've used you twice to do the national anthem and right on the football field and other things, right? I mean,
and
you
the
guys
school
have to go
song.
too, because you're so great.
Well, thanks. But they also, the other idea about the Apollo Jazz Choir was we're not going to do all of these big competitions and traveling. Like, there's a cappella groups who will go and travel. But for me and my philosophy of education, if you are in the top ensemble and you are this gifted person, your job is to show what music can do and how it can change people and communities. So their job is service to our community, not service to themselves. So, like, our big thing is going up to UW Stevens Point. We're not doing competitions to try to win trophies and go other places, because our job is to serve others and then change their lives with music. And that's what the Spreading the Cheer campaign was about.
Got it. Yeah. So the students told us a little bit about that, but tell me about the concept and what the intention is.
So thankfully, the PAC helped sponsor that. So Rachel drove us around. They sponsored lunch for the students so that they could keep going all day long. They did all of the advertising for us, which was great. And we collected donations, food and monetary donations, to help get students. Some of the monetary donations were to help get students up to UW Stevens Point. And then the rest of that was to go to the human concerns. So we collected food and money to take to human concerns that day, while spreading cheer to assisted living homes, to the South Milwaukee Senior Center, to Bucyrus Club. DB Tax and Wealth has a beautiful space to sing in, and they always treat their employees to music. So we went there for the Valentine's Day, and then we went there for our Spread the Cheer campaign. So it's nice to go and see those employees and work at the Bucyrus Club. We eat there, and then we sing for patrons as well. So the idea was to spread cheer, and they made cards to hand out to all of the residents at, I think we went to 3 different facilities. So, and
when was that? Was it Friday? Or
that was
what
last
it?
Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we raised $100 and got 3 bags of groceries. In our quick, I think we gave out the big advertisement on Monday just because there were so many concerts this year. We didn't get to advertise early enough. But I think that was really successful in one day. Just quickly asking, and so, and the students, that changes them. Singing to people that you see are isolated and don't have many visitors, and seeing their absolute joy when you sing something they know, or they can sing along with you on some of these tunes. That's the most fun part, seeing that you've actually changed someone's life for a little bit in a day. You brighten their day, and then that really alters the students and how they see themselves and realize what they can do with their instrument.
That's fantastic. You know, we've been thinking a lot about that here in the district as we go through our strategic visioning process. I'm helping the community engagement group, and we're talking about ways that students can contribute to the community while still engaging in academic work, you know, or in their interests, you know, rather than just straight up volunteering, which is academic in its own, but, you know, keeping it tied to curriculum, and kind of, this is a great example of that.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a big concert coming up for our choral festival too, where we're collaborating with museums and celebrating the 60th anniversary of the passage of the Civil Rights Movement, learning about Wisconsin's big civil rights workers. So that's another option. It's not just Apollo Jazz for that one, but that's another way that students are bringing in the community. We're trying to make those ties, because I'm biased, obviously, because I teach music education, but I really think that that is what can bring people together and create strong communities based on humanity, and that we can look past some other differences because we realize the humanity in each other and the joys that we all like to try to experience, and maybe the heartbreaks too that we all share sometimes too.
Shifting gears just a little bit, but I think it speaks to the passion you just mentioned. Our music program is kind of in a renaissance right now, right? Tell me about that.
It's so exciting. There's so much support from administration, and I am forever grateful and pinch myself every day that we have support from the PAC, we have support from the superintendent and the curriculum director and our principals. They come to concerts. We just did a big ballad of the Brown King, this huge cantata that we collaborated with UW Parkside, and the superintendent, the curriculum director, and our principal all came. There's so much support, and these kids see that. The choir in 1 year had a 50% increase.
Wow. To what?
It
what's
was
it at now?
50 to 75.
Wow.
Next year, the top choir is going to be around 50 students. And so I'm like, I don't know how we're going to fit in our room anymore, which is a great problem to have. Last year, solo and ensemble, our whole school sent about 44 entries to solo and ensemble. And this year, students have not finished signing up in choir for it yet, but we're at 45 already. So we're surpassing what the entire school brought to solo and ensemble this year just in the choir alone.
Yeah. Wow.
Our orchestra, we now have 2 orchestras because the orchestra grew so much that they needed to address the needs of students who needed to do more. So we have a chamber orchestra as well. So it's exciting. Our 6th through 8 music educators are phenomenal.
They really
and
are.
And students are realizing that if we put the hard work in, we can make amazing things happen, and they're experiencing all of that success, and then it just keeps feeding on itself. So it's just thrilling.
I agree. One of the things, again, in that strategic plan that we're looking at is last year the tour of music through the elementary schools, the middle school, choir and band went, or orchestra, I guess, went and spoke, and then also played for the students to gin up interest for picking up an instrument when they get to high school or middle school.
Yes, and we also have a South Milwaukee Music Parents Association that is in a revival as well. It's a lot of high school parents now, so we're trying to do some more outreach to the middle school parents, but they are here to help fund. We need 6 cellos.
Oh.
So we're in a we
How
have
much
a
does a cello
lot.
cost?
Oh, $2,000 for a decent one,
Okay.
not necessarily a
Yeah.
like
Top of the line.
$1,000
Yeah.
for a school cello. So there's a lot of funds that we're going to need. We would really like to start sending students to music camps and experiences so that they can go beyond what we can provide here at South Milwaukee. And I also realized that there was a lot of disparity. And on the state side, I'm also involved with the State Music Education Association. So I'm trying to help solve some problems like we do not have diverse populations in our honors ensembles and in our all-state choirs. And there are some barriers that are there that are getting in the way, and South Milwaukee Music Parents is going to try to get rid of some of those for our students so that every student can participate in all-state and state honors auditions, experiences, and choirs, because there is a heavy financial cost to a lot of that.
Got it. Yeah.
So if we can get them to music camps, if we can get them to those experiences, if we can get accompanists, because they're per event, it's about $30 for an accompanist, and the choir has 45 events right now. So I'm playing for some of them for free, and we're asking some other parents who can play too to help. But when we do have to hire a professional to come in, there's a lot of increased cost.
Yeah.
So our music parents are doing an amazing job. They're in the middle of a SNAP raise campaign right now. So maybe I can get information out
please.
to you to tie with a campaign. It ends on January 1st. So we're trying to get $20,000 so that we can supplement those cellos and the fees for the accompanists and things like that. So that's exciting that there's this revival. They're working with Bucyrus Club now. We have a Jazz and More event April 16th where we're collaborating with a local business, and we're going to have a nice Jazz and More event. We kind of got it off to a start last year in our school cafeteria, but we're trying to create a jazz club experience. The and more is that we're bringing in other ensembles, not just our jazz combo started. So we have
What's a jazz combo?
like bari sax, trombone, trumpet, drums, piano, bass guitar,
Yeah.
those types of
Small
instruments.
set groups,
Just a
yeah.
small, not a huge big band, but a small jazz ensemble for the band.
Awesome.
So we have a jazz choir, jazz band. And that's the other, I forgot that's another thing that is starting. So it's so exciting.
Yeah, and that's you and David Shaw, right?
Yes.
The two of you.
He's
with
such a
all
great,
these-
we just keep flying ideas to each other, and we're like, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Yeah, that's so
So-
exciting to have that space to do it, and the energy and the will, and then growing support from parents. It's
Yes.
fantastic.
And whenever we ask, we keep asking, and people keep saying yes to things. And that, my biggest learning experience is that you can just ask. And
Yeah.
I'm surprised by how many people say yes and support things.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say not a ton of students listen to this, but if a parent of a student wants to get their child engaged in the music program, what should they do?
Contact the counselor and contact one of us, and we will fight for your child on every angle to get them into music. And we also, the nice thing about all of the music teachers, 6 through 12, is that we don't just care about your student success in our classroom, but in life. So we do grade checks. I hand out agendas to kids who need them. We check in with students. We call home. We make sure that things are okay, because we care about the human, not the academic student. We care about the human and helping people become good humans. So contact us, contact the principals, contact the guidance counselors, and we will work to get them in.
Sure. So January 4th is freshman preview night here at the high school. Will there be a presence there?
Yes, apologize. Okay. They're the ambassadors. They have to come and sing the school song for that day. And I think Dave might have some people playing band too. So
Awesome.
You will never go wrong with putting your student in music. Like, yes, we're talking about humanity, and I said we care more about the student than just the academic, but it is scientifically shown that studying an instrument actually improves a student's IQ and helps them. It's because I'm going to use the analogy of a file folder. So when they learn information, your brain puts it in a file folder and it puts it in the cabinet and shuts the drawer. Well, music acts as that secretary who knows exactly where in that drawer that file is and pulls it out really quickly, instead of you having to go back and search through all of those files to find it. So the processing systems in people's brains are so much faster when they learn music. And actually, I had a professor's son who wanted to become an anesthesiologist, and he was going in for surgery and asked the anesthesiologist, like, what do I need in college? I'm a freshman in college right now. And the guy's response was not, take these bio classes. He said, are you a musician? If you're a musician, you will be allowed in medical school.
Wow.
That was his advice, not take these bio classes because it doesn't matter. They know that musicians' brains are what they want there.
Mm-hmm. I would even say if students that are headed towards, a technology and a career right outside, one thing that our STEM teachers have been saying is that collaboration skills are something that our students, they're not seeing coming out necessarily. And besides giving your brain a break from sitting at a desk or, working a math problem, being able to socialize and collaborate with students who are working on a musical piece.
Our assessments, there are some individual parts to the assessment, but it's a whole ensemble assessment. So you don't have any other class where how the people around you take that test affects your grade on the test. Like, you're taking that test together. You're doing that presentation together. You have your own responsibility within the group, but you have to constantly be listening to and reacting to those around you and how they're playing or singing and what they're doing. And a goal of our music department this year is actually increasing the skills of students to use words and communicate. What did we do well? What do we need to work on? And then by the time they're in high school, being able to say, this is how we all can fix our own problem here.
Right.
So they're going to be independent learners who, oh my gosh, we made a mistake there. Let's try this technique to fix that. And we just observe.
Right.
Not that that's how we run class. Like, we have to teach them the skills and let them know how you can fix it. But if we're sick for a day, they should be able to run a successful rehearsal and fix things and not just have a day off. Like, we don't give study halls when we're gone. They have to run their own selves. And that's a lot to ask 34 students to be able to lead themselves as a group of 34 students.
Right.
Because many of our substitutes don't know music.
Yeah. They are there with attendance.
They're there to
and
do attendance, and then we have a concert. You can't not sing or rehearse or whatever. So,
wow, I'm sold. Well, thank you for taking the time today to talk about this. It's always great to have you on.
Thank you so much for highlighting music education. Please give your child that gift because it will last their entire life.
A big thank you to our students Aiden and Genevieve and to Aimiee Swanson for their time today, and to Apollo Jazz for being ambassadors out in the community. Thank you, too, to our South Milwaukee Performing Arts Center staff and Apollo Jazz member Shelby Brooks for capturing and sharing some of the music from when the group was out caroling. Looking ahead, please consider attending the January 10th school board meeting. That question about a potential referendum on the spring ballot that we talked about at the top of the show will be decided at that meeting. The school board would like to hear from you, whether you're for it or against it, or any questions you might have. Enjoy the winter break, and we'll talk to you in 2024.